We were going to start here with Ron McGill, the zoo guy. One of the most popular things we do. We really do appreciate that families enjoy this segment together. If you want some Ron McGill this week, though, it'll be in Because Miami later this week. Billy Corbin, that loon, is trying to get Ron McGill to run for office because the polling says that Ron McGill has the name and likability that he could actually win an election and have some power. The only problem is Ron McGill does not want to run for office, does not want to run. But we will hear from Ron McGill later this week.
Billy Corbin with a surprise take of being pro-illegal campaign financing.
Well, he did suggest something about donations to the endowment, but we've got to be careful with all of that.
Yeah, it was a weird thing for the show's resident whistleblower to be pro for. It's just odd.
It was a surprising take by him in his defense.
He was trying to get our listeners to support Ron's campaign, and they would, of course, with donations to the endowment. But we will talk to Ron and Billy.
Fair play to him. I did beg Billy Corbin to surprise me with a take, and
he did.
Being one who actively touts illegal campaign financing was not one that I had coming.
Yeah. So Billy Corbin is.
You thought that was coming from me.
I knew many. I know many of you don't like the fire hose of outrage that Billy is, but he is doing an important public service here as Miami goes to total shit with our infrastructure and just all the world and all of its recklessnesses in a lawless Florida, just bombarding our infrastructure in a way that's just poisonous. I appreciate that Billy Corbin, as newspapers die, is still out here fighting the good fight, and he's trying again, and he's going to lose. Of course, he's going to lose because Ron doesn't want to be anywhere near him. And Ron does not want to run for office. But we would all trust Ron if he did run for office, and we will see if we could persuade a reluctant Ron. But we bumped Ron McGill because something is happening right now in New York City, and we do not have the news, but we're on live, and we don't want to be disrespectful with where we were headed, which is to very importantly rank the hierarchy of pizzas from best to worst and worst to best. And that's where we were headed after doing the local hour and Big Suey. But as we started this live hour, we see that there's a shooting in New York, and I've got very few details, so forgive me if I get some of the stuff wrong here because I'm not trying to be reckless. I'm just listening to reports as they come in, which is there's a shooter who was wearing a gas mask in New York City, and there's several people injured, and he is at this moment, he has not been contained. The reports are he was wearing like an orange utility vest, and people are worried about more bad things happening in New York City as the television video is everywhere replete with a New York City on edge because something dangerous has arrived there with the intent to injure, and we have not yet, as we speak, apprehended it. So if there are new details, Mike, please share them with me. I don't at any point here want to be disrespectful, just talking about sports and nonsense. If we already are in the middle of something that feels super scary, I don't know if there are going to be fatalities here. And I don't want to be appearing disrespectful during a difficult time.
So far, we're following along on CNN. Legacy Media has not reported any deaths just yet. The good news is that no other active devices have been found. There were reports of explosives that were undetonated that were found. There were reports of smoke bombs to kind of disguise this alleged attacker and cloak him. As of right now, there has not been an apprehension that's been reported. The area in question has been cordoned off, and the NYPD is actively working the crime scene.
According to the New York Times, Dan, 13 people injured. This happened on a Brooklyn subway station platform.
We will get back to that as news comes in on that, and we will resume the trying to do the show silly as we were. Before we get to the pizza stuff, though, Stugotz, I love the Phillies controversy last night because we, as the Miami show, love to brawl with Philadelphia. Philadelphia gets outraged every time that I say the city of Philadelphia is cruel, even though all I'm saying is the most obvious of things. And last night, one of their pitchers, Alec Baum, made 3 errors in 3 innings, and you can see him coming off the mound pissed as they're booing him, or they're sarcastically cheering him for not making a throwing error, and he spits at Gregorius. I bleeping hate this place. It was so good.
It'll break a man.
But if you're lip reading, it was impossible. Like, I don't think he could have been saying anything else, and now he has since apologized. But that is the end of his relationship with the city of Philadelphia right here. They cannot catch that sentence from you and ever be kind again. You've betrayed them. You've betrayed their secret. So many of you guys do.
But what if he does something good? Like the fans won't cheer for him and he won't change his feelings about said fans?
I'm just saying that they will never forgive him or let him forget that was something he said after making 3 errors in 3 games. He could have 7 straight no-hitters. 7 perfect games, and they will not forget that off the mound when he was frustrated, he gave us the real honesty of I bleeping hate this place. He doesn't like playing for you. You rarely get that from an athlete still in uniform, even as you're the guy yesterday who's saying all sorts of things about what an athlete should say while he's still. Oh, you wanted Acuna to say things about Freddie Freeman while he was still in the clubhouse with him.
Yeah, like he's blasting Freddie Freeman while Freeman's now with the Dodgers. Say it when Freddie Freeman is there. That's all I'm saying. Ronald Acuna, please. I mean, who was this pitcher again, by the way?
Alec Baum for the Phillies. Yes.
Okay. I got to look this up, man. This is great. It's a great story.
I thought the Philly story you were going to tell us is we found out this weekend that the hot dog cannon is back.
I saw pictures. I saw reports. What else? Give me more information here, because I did see that after injuring an old woman and sending her to the emergency room, many people sent us photographs of the hot dog cannon making a return, like an old fighter.
Well, I don't even know that it ever went anywhere, right? But all I'm going to say is this. People sending in the pictures, obviously everyone kind of agreed. Let's not say that the person that was hit tragically in the face by the hot dog and may or may not have been hospitalized and may or may not have all that. We're not going to say that
may or
this
may not
person,
have deserved it, according to you.
No, I was just, okay, that's what I was going to say. We're not going to say that this person deserved it. No one deserves to be hit in the face with a hot dog. However, I think seeing that it's still around proves that it could have been, agreed upon, that this could have been the fault of the hot dog, I don't even know what the word would be.
Face absorber.
Attackee, right? Do hot dogs attack people? I don't think it was premeditated. We could all agree this wasn't premeditated, right? The hot dog did not plan on hitting someone in the face.
No, but we learned after thinking it was just a looping foiled hot dog, looping foiled wiener. We learned that it's a rocket.
No, I don't know that we learned that.
Shot from center field.
Because if you saw the placement of it, it looked like this was like right down the first base line or something. It seems like they've even moved the hot dog cannon closer to the fans, which I think, if anything, shows that it's safer than we thought originally.
Just a quick update here on Alec Baum. He can't throw 7 perfect games. He's a third baseman.
And he committed an error in each of his first 3 innings.
As a pitcher? Or
I had him coming into the game and pitching.
He had 3 E5s. How about that?
It looked like he was walking off a mound in that video, and I also don't follow baseball, Dan, so I feel your pain.
It did look like he was walking off the mound, but he was just, I guess now that I think about it, he was just walking over the first base line.
Yeah, I was hypnotized by, StuGoutz, is that a new wedding band? Because it's choking the life out of your finger.
Working hard.
No, it's the same one. I'm just fat. I mean, yeah.
It looks like a sausage
I know.
casing.
I can't get it off my finger.
I've
gained some weight.
It is choking the life out of
It's
it.
It's those pimento cheese sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Do your fingers get fat when you eat?
Weight goes to 2 places for me. It goes to my stomach and my fingers.
This can't be right.
No, I'm serious.
It's true, yeah.
That's where my weight goes, Dan. Stomach, fingers. Yep. I cannot get this ring off. Mike, it is a very fair question to ask. It looks like a new ring.
Mike, did you notice
but it's not. It's just a fatter finger.
Because Stugotz at this point cannot stop when making a point, just flashing sausage fingers at you, at the camera, at can't stop talking like just a couple of, imagine spiders made of sausages just in your face all the time with his fingers thrown at you. Did you notice, Mike, that one of them is engorged and bloody and swollen? It's redder than the rest because were you distracted by what we were talking about?
His fingers, we always say that he has sausage fingers, and now he has sausage links for fingers because it is tied off in the middle.
Yeah. Where's the blood, though?
How much salt did you have over the weekend?
A lot. Mike, I'm fat. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm
your
gaining
fat
weight.
sores in your hands. It's odd.
I don't think that's a thing,
I'm
though.
looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Please, thank you. At LeBatard Show.
Gout is possible.
You might have gout.
Do your fingers.
What is happening here?
I'm afraid you have gout.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike, I'm a
I know 2
hypochondriac.
people
You know
that have had gout.
I know.
Jonathan
people have had
Zaslow.
right?
Yeah.
Zaz?
He had gout. It wasn't awesome.
Are you pregnant?
And are you pregnant?
No.
Okay.
No.
And Jared Leto got gout once when he put on 70 pounds.
You know Jared Leto?
Yeah.
I feel like it is a thing where when you eat bad, like on a weekend, like your hands feel fatter. Like I feel like it is something where this is just a feeling I've had. After I've had a weekend where I've eaten like a lot of McDonald's, a lot of something, your hands just feel thicker. Yeah, tighter on your skin. And Lewis gets it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm very pleased to hear that.
Wait, you guys
Thank
have never heard this?
At
when you're-
LeBatard Show. Hold.
Lewis does indeed get it.
I'm checking the symptoms of gout. How do you spell gout?
Out at LeBatard Show.
Like out with a G in front of it.
Ah. How do you spell out?
At LeBatard Show. I'm worried for StuGoutz now as well.
I'm all in for baseball stadiums going back to novelty foods. Again, Savannah Bananas are the model. I don't know if you saw the video.
The flaming bats.
It's too much
Yeah.
now. It's too look at me. Yeah. Flaming bats.
Now,
it was fun when you guys
be
would
fair,
just do a dance every once in a while
This
during the
wasn't
seventh
the
inning.
Bananas. This was at a Bananas
No.
game, but this was the opposing team.
It's the other team trying to
We
steal their
learned
shine.
we
Are
learned
they the
something,
party
Chris and I. The party animals. The Savannah Bananas appear to be traveling the country like the Harlem Globetrotters do. And
They've lost their way.
Yeah, you go. It's just a sideshow now, and it's a whole circus. You go see the zaniness of the Savannah Bananas, and they play the party animals, and you know how that's gonna go. Yellow bases, that whole thing. But the game that we called, the Savannah Bananas were playing in West Palm Beach that day and the following day. And when we were getting there at like 10 in the morning for a 1 o'clock game, they were already setting up all the Savannah Banana like merch store outside because they were playing that night. It was sold out. So yeah, they're like traveling the country, and you could see this brand of baseball.
We should absolutely be celebrating this. I saw the other day they had Bill Lee at 75 years old, the spaceman, just crazy pitcher.
Beat me to it.
From the 50s, run out onto the field with a beer and pitch against somebody. If the major leagues are going to abuse their minor league system by just not paying them well, why wouldn't a minor league team go to the extremes of however it could make money and commerce by traveling with wacky sideshow
Well, this is
bullshit?
independent baseball, so that no MLB affiliation. But baseball needs to do what not maybe to the extremes that the Bananas are doing, but make going to a ball game a fun event. You may get hit by a stray hot dog that's coming from a hot dog gun. I really enjoyed the beer bat at Comerica Park. Make it a novelty. I don't know if you're familiar with the Football Scran Twitter account that just takes photos of food that you get at stadiums, and it's taken the Twitter world by storm. I want to experience everything, every unique novelty item that ballparks have to offer to make the game experience way more fun.
Just give me a hot dog and a classic beer. Yeah. I don't need the
That's
bells
right.
and whistles.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Yeah,
am I
like,
right?
come on.
Give me a hot Cheeto Bloody Mary and a beer bat. That's what I say.
Get out of here.
There's no way that pitcher didn't balk, right? When he was dancing on the mound.
Yeah,
There's
the
no way
rules
that's
have to
not
be a little
yeah,
stretched.
come on. A bit of, decorum here. It's
I
baseball.
can't believe that like they do a full like jump 360, spin around and dance, and then a pitch gets
It's too
thrown.
look at
and
me.
Then, and
It's a
then
lot.
The 1-1.
I mean, come on. How do you take batting practice, and then dance class, and then fielding things? And like, where's
Respect
the time?
the game.
It's choreography.
Mm-hmm.
5-tool player.
As baseball makes its way to Apple Plus and tries to change the way the broadcasts are done, I was happy to hear that Katie Nolan did a broadcast the other day for Apple Plus. isn't it incumbent upon baseball to transition out of its starched demo that has always fought the existence of the Savannah Bananas? Minor League Baseball has always been more fun, more hijinks, but Major League Baseball's repressed. Major League Baseball, even with all the great advanced media as a sport, demographically, it's still Freddie Freeman wiping Ronald Acuna's eye black off because it's just repressed emotionally sport. Fun used to be had in the 50s, with a newspaper under your arm, wearing a suit and a fancy hat at the ball game. The sport is reluctant to change, but Mike, the stadium experience has changed in baseball, and you can go and just go to an amusement park of foods.
Yeah.
And eccentric stuff, and I think Chris and Billy are doing it old school.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good chicken dance in between innings. I'm just saying during the game,
The thing that I want to pay attention to the least at a baseball game is the actual baseball game.
That's the problem.
I want a playground.
You're the
and
problem.
center
You're the
field.
problem.
No. The game's the problem.
That's how you. I'll do that. More of that.
But you probably stop as soon as a pitch is going to be
Of
thrown.
course I stop.
Are
I
we
respect
watching
the game.
baseball or are we watching MTV's Rock and Jock? Am I right?
Jack White did the national anthem. The Shell game was lit. I had a beer bat, and it was incredible. It was an A+ hospitality experience. When I asked for tickets, I paid for my tickets to this Tigers game. I asked a contact, I want a baseball experience that would make Bob Costas cry. And I got that. Hot Cheeto, Bloody Marys, Fruity Pebbles, French toast, beer bats. I loved it.
Would you dye your hair blue just to get married in front of a bunch of people? It was Jack White.
It was a weird look.
He proposed and he got married on stage in a concert and had blue hair. Would you do that right before getting married?
He's had blue hair for a while.
He's Jack White.
The whole experience was
he's
a
not
little
Jack
odd.
Blue, you know.
Right.
The whole experience was odd.
I'm worried about this gout.
Why was the experience odd?
Because Jack White got engaged and married during a concert. It was
efficient.
It was a lot to process.
Killing two birds with one stone.
It was, and he definitely planned it out because he proposed, and the very next lyric from Hotel Yorba was "Let's get married," and then he did "Steady as she goes." Find yourself a girl, settle down. He got married in front of his friends. Night one had 15 songs, which I was, as a concert goer, I'm like, okay, I have a memory that'll last a lifetime, but also only 15 songs. That's not great.
How many do we want? Like, what's the standard?
Night two, he did 25.
Was that the wedding day, though?
Wedding day, you got 15.
But you got the wedding.
Right. That's what a lot of people, but I was like, I didn't hear hardest button.
Wow, I wanted more music, less love.
Then a surprise wedding.
It's a story that I'll always have. It was just, so before he got
ripped
engaged.
that off from a J-Lo movie, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
You were
marrying. Well, no, he knew who he was marrying.
Mike, you said it's weird, but you watched. Jack White is the artist. Like
he's Willy Wonka.
You don't admire a musician more, as far as I can tell, and you got to be there when he proposed.
Yeah. So I went to, it was a Jack White pilgrimage, really, because I wanted to watch him on this tour. He wasn't coming to South Florida. I wanted to watch him in either Nashville or Detroit, one of his two hometowns. He's originally from Detroit.
You can only have one hometown.
Exactly.
I mean,
pick a town.
one.
And
kind of got pushed out of the
Put it on the
Detroit
poll,
scene.
Guillermo, at LeBatard Show.
hometowns.
Can you have two hometowns? Totally
How's
fair.
that possible?
Totally
Nah.
fair.
Jack White, pick a
I
town.
mean, he's a
Jack White, pick a
propagandist
town.
for Jack White.
No,
Pick a town,
McAfee
Jack
did that
White.
at WrestleMania too. If we're gonna be, naming names here, when you come out, they say your hometown. It said Pat McAfee from blah 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 by way of blah blah. It's like pick a town, okay, one or the other.
Put it on the poll. Pick a town, Pat McAfee. Yes or no?
But it was an incredible weekend for any Jack White fan because he played at the Tigers game. He has a new Third Man Records store and vinyl pressing plant that's in the Cass District in Detroit, and he played 2 shows in Detroit. It was an odd move to dedicate a song about taking drugs with a loved one to your ex-wife, Meg White, who I have reason to believe was in attendance because he was getting married. The very next song. He brought his new girlfriend, Olivia Jean, then girlfriend, Olivia Jean, on stage, and he hasn't been super public about their relationship. It was kind of a secret, so it was kind of an odd move to just welcome Olivia Jean onto the stage, and it was almost as a formal announcement to the world that he's been officially dating Olivia Jean. And in the middle of Hotel Yorba, it was kind of stunning because he takes out a ring, and it was something that was oddly romantic from a guy that's this rock star. You don't really see it happening. And it was just like a J-Lo movie, which is not really something I had picture Jack White doing.
But give me my 10 songs, Jack White. Give me, knock it off. Get love. Go fall in love backstage. Give me 10 more songs.
Fall in love on your own time, yeah.
But find yourself a girl and settle down.
Not on my dime.
But just during
Right.
Steady As She Goes, not literally
All
during
right.
a concert. But I knew I had night 2 in the back pocket, and I enjoyed night 2 better than night 1. Although night 1, he did something special for Detroit, and I should really
Not
appreciate
special
it.
enough.
No, I just wanted to hear Black Mass.
Well, I mean, imagine being invited to someone's wedding and having to pay for your food and everything.
I was
Like,
wearing
that's
a hat.
rude.
I
Yeah,
was wearing
exactly.
a hat.
You know
and I
what-
couldn't take pictures of it.
Yeah. You know what he should have done now that we're just thinking this out loud and we're kind of reconstructing how Jack White should have gotten engaged and married on the same day? The rest of that concert after the wedding happened, right? Because it was like in stages, right? After the wedding happened, he should have only performed wedding music.
Yeah.
Like he should have done the wobble.
Yeah.
He should have done Jack White cha-cha slide
It's
and
electric.
shout. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been great. A night to remember.
Wait a minute. So Mike, if he had gone 15 songs,
If he would have made it an actual wedding ceremony, I'm down for that.
If he had then gone
No open bar.
electric slide, what
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. To the
Would have been
left,
something.
To the left, to the left.
that would have been okay by you, but
Yeah.
the way it was not, he did it poorly by your standards. You didn't have a sense of humor about it. It was all syrupy love.
It was stunning.
And again, give me my 10 songs. Where are my 10 songs, Jack White?
It was stunning. I was in shock. And again, I couldn't take pictures. Who wants to be sprung
Did they
like
steal
a
your
wedding on you?
phone?
No, they didn't steal your phone. They give you this sleeve
Oh,
that
so
it
you
locks
can't take
in.
pictures there. So he didn't want. So nobody has pictures of Jack White's.
No, but what he gives you is a postcard with a QR code that says, "Hey, I went to the Jack White show," and you can pick from the pictures that their photographers took.
That's
if
a
you want.
lot of work. I mean,
You could also
those are for
listen
sale?
back to the show. I think Pearl Jam also does this, where you could listen to the specific show that you went to, so you don't have to watch it off of cell phone video. It makes for a really cool concert atmosphere because you're fully immersed in it. But I was so underdressed for a wedding, and I wish I got some sort of heads up.
What would you have worn?
Something elaborate, like
A tuxedo. You would have worn a
tux.
tuxedo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that would have meant you could have. Somebody would have photographed you and your hair,
No
right?
one would have photographed me, Dan. No phones.
right?
No, someone would have, and the QR code, you'd get the picture. Yeah,
that would be worth more than Jack White engagement photos of you without a hat on.
It was actually one of my favorite concert experiences. I got recognized quite a bit out there, but nobody could take a photo with me. It was wonderful.
I feel like you haven't officially taken a stand on this. It was one of your favorite concert experiences, but you didn't like it, and you liked it.
It was weird.
Nice.
Well,
It
he
was
just
weird.
wanted
It
his
was just
10 more
odd. It was
songs.
stunning.
Look,
Yeah.
it's just selfish, and understand. Like this is
I
all.
went to
Jack
night
White,
2. I knew
yeah.
night 2 he'd make it up and he'd do like one of those 25 song sets. And he
But
did.
just to be clear, you would have taken YMCA, the Macarena.
Oh,
if
man.
he made it a legit wedding,
Yes.
yeah, that would have been wild. Surprise, you're all at my wedding. Open bar. Yeah, here's the band.
But it sounds like he's not giving you anything for free open bar. It sounds like Jack White is keeping all his stuff so that you can buy his concert footage and relive it because he's not letting you leave with any of it.
It was kind of a touching ceremony to be a part of because Detroit meant that much to him that he doesn't really show us a lot of his personal life. It's been said like the White Stripes were the most real band and the fakest band simultaneously because there's a whole like Willy Wonka theme to him that you don't know what's real and what's not. And even that wedding, I was just kind of like, what's going on over here? Is this real? Is this a rib? Because some of it just doesn't necessarily feel authentic in his attempt to be the most authentic.
Jack White has been he occupies a space almost nobody gets to occupy, where it's not just that he's one of the last standing rock stars, but also somehow in the media age, private and mysterious enough that people wonder, well, what are the roots of his genius? And interviews with him, you just want to learn because it's almost not possible for someone to be Elvis nowadays, but this is the closest thing that you've got. He's unusual. Mike was at his wedding. It's not enough. He wants more.
The king.
He did play Elvis in Walk Hard. Yeah. Look out, man. Yeah, but I'm not this Jack White cultist.
I love that.
Look out, man.
No, wait. I didn't know you had that in.
Look out now.
I'm not. This is going to be probably not make sense because I flew all the way to Detroit to see him, and he's one of my favorite musicians. But I'm not a cultist. I see some of his interviews, and I'm like, I just flatly don't believe you. He claims to be a futurist, yet he also claims to not have a cell phone. And I find that impossible to believe. I find it impossible to believe that Jack White doesn't have a cell phone. He says it was really hard during COVID because you had QR codes for COVID testing, and he shows up to his flights and he can't call an Uber if his flight is delayed. I just don't believe
Hold on
that
a second.
part.
He doesn't have a phone, but he doesn't let anyone else have a phone. And he doesn't know what QR codes, but you need a QR code to get your pictures.
He's all over the place.
Also,
this
what-
guy.
Jack
Yeah.
Blue.
Also,
yeah.
he uses an iPhone to tune his guitar. He's
What?
familiar with the technology. I just
But he doesn't have a phone.
don't believe if Q-Tip needs to get a hold of Jack White, he can't. So I truly
all,
believe he
all
has a
lending more and more to the mystery, though. Again, you're not allowed. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of people in the modern landscape who get to choose fame on their terms that we don't learn about their lives. Brady's mastered it pretty well, but it's pretty hard to do, and it's even harder to do if you're someone who's interesting and you're like a creative mystery, and people want to know all about your secrets and see the interviews that you can name all the Beatles songs in one note
Yeah.
because you're a savant.
We believe that's real. That
Yeah,
could have been. That could have been. Staged. You don't think that could have been staged?
And, well, anything with him.
stage so that he knew the songs beforehand.
Well,
yeah.
I
You
mean-
don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility?
No,
Right.
I can do that with Jack White songs.
I mean, prove it.
Mike or Jack?
Mike,
Let me limit to. I could do it with White Stripe songs.
Okay,
the
but-
solo stuff is new.
Can you really?
I
we
want you to
don't
play a new-
we don't
Yeah, I
have we don't have the rights to any of that music.
can. No,
so
but you can do it on social. I could probably do it.
I could do it with wedding songs.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. Here's your breathless moment. Here, we're gonna transition.
Intense joint pain.
This is.
I
this
caught my
is-
breath, Dan.
This is very, very big here. We're gonna start from the very bottom.
Limited range of motion.
The official hierarchy.
Can't get the ring finger off my ring finger. I mean, who knew that was a symptom for gout? I mean,
Chris Cody, what are you laughing about back there?
There was some writing going on back here.
heavy foot. I think I have a heavy foot, Dan. I mean, this is a dangerous game, this gout. The left foot is feeling a little heavy, and the toe is really big. The big toe is extra big. And I'm going to have my period. And I haven't had it in 2 months. I mean,
How'd you blow that line?
I don't know. I saved it, kind of.
No, you
like
didn't.
halfway
no,
through.
you didn't. You had the dismount. It was fed to you.
I know.
I just
Sucker,
watched
man.
it. They were lobbing you just easy
But I
home
have
run
gout,
balls.
Dan. Easy.
Yes,
Take it
of
easy.
course, you've got gout.
Very sensitive time for me.
Do you
right
realize
now.
how
I'm
good?
concerned.
Do you realize how that joke would have landed if you just?
I haven't had my period in 2 months. I know. I know. I know. I know. It's going to sit with me all goddamn day.
Stugotz, you want to take a guess how many Kmarts remain? How many Kmarts remain in the United States? Billy, I don't know why you're making that face
It's
back
sad,
there.
yeah.
You want to guess? One of them is in Miami. One of them.
Right. Kenyon Martin as well. He's got a kid playing in the NBA, right?
There's one in West Kendall, which is like the roughest part of the hood.
Huh.
Right next to Miami Subs.
I'm going to guess, Dan. I'm going to say there are 2,000 Kmarts left in the United States. 2,000.
What an idiotic guess.
It's exactly right.
Wow.
He got it on the number. It's the first time that's ever happened.
Huh.
Is that real? That's not right.
No, it's 3.
There's only 3 Kmarts left?
What?
And we're lucky enough to have
Are
one.
you serious? There's only 3 left?
3 in the United States. One of them closed, I think, in New Jersey. And so now there are only 3 left. And that is a piece of your childhood, our childhood dying right there.
We need to do a show from Kmart and Kendall, right? Like, we have to.
Oh, I would love that.
The one on 8th Street? Oh,
From
man.
the hood? Straight from the hood? Do you think we can get in and out
Well,
of there?
we'll up security, yeah. I'll tell Frankie to bring some.
Got to beef it up. We'll take my golf cart over there.
You want to do a live show from the Kmart? We can bring. Do you want to try and bring Kmart back the way Chris Cody is bringing Highlight back?
For a day? Yeah, why not? Let's have a party at Kmart.
It's offensive that there are only 3 of them now. America, you can't let this die. This is Kmart.
You just got to be careful out there. Be very careful. You got to look both ways. You might get hit by a stray golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different part of Miami for sure.
Some of those not street legal, by the way. Not to tattletale.
Right. Who
What
cares?
what led to the downfall of Kmart? Like, has it just been like splintered?
Oh,
Is
it's
it- is it like
Amazon,
Target?
Walmart,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Walmart,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just
Bezos, essentially.
Bezos, that's right.
Yes.
Bezos from Miami. Bezos knows this area. He's from this. I don't know if he's from this hood, but
No, he's not from the hood. Yeah. Supposed Miami Hurricanes fan.
He went to
Zero
Palmetto,
donations
yeah.
to show for it.
Yeah.
Well, his ex-wife donates to FIU.
I got to think Amazon is going to Kmart. We are longing for mom and pop Kmart because here comes Bezos. He is such an empire to himself that he just knocks out Kmart's. The Walmart before Walmart has been knocked out.
You saw he transformed like part of the Seattle headquarters into a facility for the unhoused out there. It's a really nice facility out there, and keep doing great stuff. Also, Pledge card coming your way. Come on, buddy. We're trying to build a facility out here.
I don't think that that's right, that there's only 3 Kmarts left, because I see 4 in Florida alone.
Wow. Fine.
There's 3 in the Keys, Key Largo, Key West, and Marathon. I just went to the Kmart website and put locations.
There are very few new things in the Keys. There's just
There's nothing new in the Keys.
There's a brand new Publix, and that's it.
Is it possible that,
Get outta here.
that Kmart doesn't even know what's operating in the Keys because it's the most lawless out? Like, we're pretty lawless in Miami, but this is where our drug lords and fishermen go to hide.
My favorite Keys story is that the Keys left the United States. They said we're forming the Conch Republic, and we're just no longer a part of the United States. And after 2 days, I realized no one was picking up their garbage. And they're like, hey, we were kidding.
Yes, this
This
is
is like the laziest insurrection I've ever seen. Not thought out at all.
No, this
like,
is-
what happened to our infrastructure?
This is why Hemingway and Mike Leach love the place, because it's got that lawless spirit right up until somebody needs their trash picked up.
Yeah. What is this? No, we wanted all the benefits of being America, just not being America.
There are 27 Kmarts.
There's 4 in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but none in states V through Z right now.
Mm-hmm.
V through Z.
Yeah, like Virginia through like Wyoming, Washington. I'm going state by state, but I started at the end.
Okay.
Sometimes I start back to front. Like, I don't know if you guys would do that on tests. Sometimes I would do that on tests too.
Never.
Like, you would never do it? I spoiler alert, like kids, if anyone's listening that takes tests, sometimes your teachers will give you answers to previous questions on follow-up questions. So if you go back to front, question number 39 may be an answer to question number 38. So like if you know 39 is asked this way, then 38 you will have the answer leaning one way or another. So if
Couldn't
you're
I
not
just
sure,
go back? If I get to that
No,
question
because-
39, I could go back.
No,
and
because
check.
you're going to be struggling. You're either second guess yourself or you'll be struggling with time and you're like, I just got to go. I only have 5 minutes left and I still have 12 questions to go. Let me just keep going. Let me not second guess myself. Yeah. You guys don't sometimes read things back to front or do stuff like that. If it's over like 2 pages, yeah, like, and it's something that I don't need to read front to back, I'll start in the back and just kind of find my way to the front. You know, sometimes I'll hop around page to page. You guys don't do that. This is not like normal. No one does this. Am I alone on this? No one does. Lewis, Hildy, no one does
Not
this.
with a book. Not with a book.
Bob.
With Tess though. With Tess,
I told.
though, I did.
I'm gonna do the opposite of what I was telling Tony that I did before. I told Tony in the break. I go, Tony, I grew as a person. Like I always put my foot in my mouth in a certain situation. But I learned and I didn't do it, and now I'm making it worse because I'm doing it on the air. But like Bob was over there and he was looking nice today, and I was gonna say, Bob, you look like really nice today. But on multiple occasions, I've done that to people, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to a funeral later." I'm like, "Okay." Now I've learned just never tell anyone they look nice, because if someone looks nice, then someone's probably dead around them. Right? That's the only reason people dress nice.
Put it on the poll
Yeah.
at LeBatardShow. If someone looks nice, is probably someone dead around them.
Yeah, so I
It's
didn't.
not the only reason why people dress nice.
Well, so I didn't want to say it just in case that was the case, right? And I told Tony, like, I'm proud of myself. I grew. I didn't do this, but now I'm doing this on air. So if anything, I've regressed.
And also, at least you're mentioning Bob again to the audience. We've got a handful of people here behind the scenes hiding around where Lewis and Tony are playing basketball.
Let's go to Bob.
And it's Hildy and Bob. We've said Bob will be on the cover of Forbes, so we're hoping in 2 years, but he's been trying to retire, and he's holding up everything in Metal Arc Media from this little beachside hotel at the center of the lawless South Florida. Again, the Keys didn't want to be a part of the United States anymore. And honestly, Miami doesn't either. We're being really honest about things. But who's going to pick up our trash? Yeah, like, we get it. Where Billy Corbin's yelling at you. You don't want to be yelled at. You just want to just be where you are and not be bothered by the fact that our entire infrastructure has been run over by San Francisco and New York, realizing, hey, there's so much fraud down there. Us too. And now our property values have skyrocketed. No one can afford to live here anymore, and there are no workers around here. Why? Because they can't afford it. Because San Francisco and New York have come down here and just ruined everything.
No Kmart's in Utah either.
Yep, I noticed. Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure. Maybe that. Are you looking at like the Kmart website?
Yeah.
Because I presume that's not updated, because there's an
What?
Associated Press story of there only being 3 locations.
Nah, the AP, come on.
Well,
There's 6 in New York.
Before
I mean,
they're gone,
There's
then
1 in New York.
What's the AOL
6.
keyword?
maybe they're dropping like flies here. The last 23 have just fallen in the last few days. And regardless, Billy, are you ready to do I want to either live report or something. I want to help Kmart get its brand back with this little lonely Miami Kmart that's probably got to be vastly different from the other 2 Kmarts for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is you're going to get hit by a stray shopping cart.
The other 2 are in Westwood, New Jersey, and Bridgehampton on New York's Long Island.
It's all that's left. This little.
That's wrong.
This little sad.
I'm not so certain. Yeah.
no.
Okay, you guys can keep questioning it, and that's fine. And maybe we'll consult with Bob.
Someone tell the people in Avenel, New Jersey, that their
Right.
Kmart doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? 1550 St. George Avenue.
It's still on our website, so we will take Billy's word.
I'm
for
calling the number right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to prove the Associated
Attaboy.
Press wrong, because there's a
Yep.
phone number here, and I'm just going to call and say, hey, are you still open?
See if they have anything for gout.
What are your hours?
I don't know that I have ever seen Billy swept up in shame so quickly as just happened right now with an email. How do you guys want to tell this story to the audience? Because Bob, the engineer who is holding this whole place up, if anything category anything hits this region, it will be Bob who will hold all of Florida up against it. And the whole thing rests on his shoulders. And so we are really grateful for Bob. Like, couldn't be more grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy was scared when he told that story that he was sort of putting out inner office business in front of everybody because Bob looks nice today. And now Bob is here because how do you want to do this? Because the words of the email matter. Bob wrote a sharply worded email, and now Billy feels like really bad. And Billy never loses around here this way. I feel for you, Billy.
So, okay, yeah, I lose like this all the time. I often, yeah. So Bob looks nice today, as you guys can now see if you're watching on YouTube. Look how sharp Bob looks.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell Bob, hey, Bob, you look great today. You look very, very nice, very dressed to the nines.
The best among us. We come in like bums. We're always in some form of beach gear. Bob looks nicer than anybody here.
Yeah. So, but I told you that I have a reluctance to say that because I've worried, because in the past I've said that to people here, and they've been like, oh, I actually have to go to like a funeral afterwards, whatever. So I was like, I'm not going to say it. And then I bragged to Tony. I was like, look how much I've grown. I didn't do it. And then I did it on the air like a dum-dum. And then I thought that we were done. And then we saw the Zoom chat.
The timing could not have been better.
Yeah.
Welcome, Bob. It's good that people see you here in this form. Usually, and I don't want to give away too many secrets, but you have the scent of a reaper, and I mean,
Jeez, how does that
What
sound?
are you saying?
I'm saying he smells like death,
dump
no matter
that.
no matter how
way.
how
No.
he cleans it up.
Now, we don't want to make fun of the death or dying.
He
Or-
also
thank you, Bob.
he also
Yep,
has
you
a
tell him,
miner's
Bob.
helmet that he goes to the bottom of this and just fixes everything for us when it needs fixing, so it could get to millions of people a week. But Chris Cody, take us through. You saw it in the chat because you read it out loud, and Billy immediately deflated. He lost all of his confidence. He shriveled to nothing.
Yeah, as soon as the segment ended, I was like, oh no! And Billy's like, what? And I was like, did you see Bob in the chat? And Bob wrote, funny you should say that. I'm taking care of my ailing neighbor that is nearing death.
Why are we all laughing at this?
Because Billy's an idiot!
The timing was so good. I mean, it couldn't have been a better moment in time.
Well, Billy, well, it could
We
have
made
been.
Bob smile.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Bob, your
I'm sorry
neighbor's
for your
dying. It's not a
alien
great
neighbor.
But we
time,
made him
yeah.
smile on a rough go of it. On a rough day he's having, and we made him smile. Good for us.
Okay, yes. Congratulations, us. Billy with the dark humor.
Nice work, Billy.
I
Humor.
felt horrible, but you know what else I learned in talking to a couple of knuckleheads back here? There was people that knew this situation was going on, one of which is Tony, who I confided in and
Yeah.
never told me, like, hey, good thing you didn't say anything, because he knew something was going on.
I forgot. I know that Bob is taking
Forgot?
care of an old lady who's, not doing so great. Bob has confided me in that, so I didn't want to betray his trust about him taking care of an older lady.
Nice.
It's a good job out of you,
So
Tony.
Tony with privacy.
It is not a good
you
job
did
out
not
of
help.
him.
You
Back
did
to
not
Billy
help
being
your
the jerk.
friend.
Yep.
No,
Definitely.
it's a horrible
Yes,
job.
okay.
You could have privately pulled me aside and said, no, like, good thing you didn't say because blah, blah, blah. Like,
He didn't know you were going to say it on air, though. How
He
could he have
knew I
known
was
that?
going to say it on air. This guy's a devil on my shoulder.
He
He's
is,
trying to
he
get me
is.
to do
No, he
stupid
does
shit.
enjoy. He
Yeah.
does. It is interesting to watch Billy discombobulated by not knowing if it's incompetence with Lewis and Tony or whether it's actively trying to out anarchist him.
It's discombobulated. That's a fun.
What did I say?
I have no idea.
You did say that, but I tried to get him to say discombobulated because Bob is here, and then he missed it. And then
I
it
thought
was
he
just
said
a whole-
combobulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't give away the secrets, Billy.
I'm discombobulated now.
You should be, Bob. Thank you for
Thank you,
for
guys.
tolerating
And
us.
taking care of your neighbor as
Go
well.
to Bob,
Thank you.
Bob.
Yes,
Thank you,
Bob.
You gotta take care of
Bob.
those around us.
Bob.
Bob's
Thank you, Bob.
maiden voyage on the
Bob,
show.
Bob. Let's go to Bob, Bob.
Discombobulated.
Let's go to Bob, Bob.
That's the joke. Yeah,
Bob keeps
that's
things
how you would-
bobulated.
that's how
You know what I
would do
mean?
that.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Bob, we wouldn't have anything bobulated. Yeah.
I wonder when's the last time he bobbed for apples. Bob, when's the last time you bobbed for
Oh my
apples?
God.
I'm glad I went back to this.
When he was a kid, yeah.
Good work by you.
Bob's also working on a barn, yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
At least we're not live or anything. I wanted to ask you guys, as the Lakers continue to get a lot of coverage, Stugotz,
Yes.
if Frank Vogel bought himself anything at all with a championship, if Frank Vogel is like the least impressive.
I mean, he got fired.
But he got fired very quickly is what I'm saying, that collateral got used up fast. And I am not making any arguments on behalf. I am not making any arguments on behalf of he shouldn't have been fired, because the expectations for that franchise and that team were very high. But I'm just saying it is pretty rare. Kevin Durant has said the environment around LeBron James is toxic, that people don't want to play there because there's just a toxicity to the drain of being that kind of famous. It's the same thing that made the Meteor burn up at Golden State, Stugotz, where they could have won for 15 years if they'd just gotten along, but Draymond and Durant said, nah, never mind. And so it comes apart. Frank Vogel won a championship, even though it's pandemic and asterisk and everything else. And it's pretty rare, I think, for a guy to get fired this quickly afterward, even in a sport that has a good amount of turnover. Then, so while I'm saying I understand the firing, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It is uncommon to have a guy win a title a couple of years ago, get fired a couple of years later. And if you're asking, will there be a market for Frank Vogel? I don't think teams are going to line up to sign him to be their head coach. They don't perceive that Frank Vogel was the reason they won a championship. It was LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I disagree. I think he's bought himself a ton, particularly when you look at their defensive numbers. Everyone says that he helped instill the defensive attitude that helped them win them the title, be a really good defensive team. When you look at their players last year, like, you wouldn't have thought that they had great defensive players, but they were a great defense. And I think in general, the consensus of this season was nobody could have done anything with that roster. And he has bought himself a ton with the Lakers' dysfunction around him.
All right, let me play out this scenario for you. The Sixers get knocked out first round. Doc Rivers goes to the Lakers. You think the Sixers are going to talk to Frank Vogel?
I do.
Really?
I do. I think Frank Vogel will be coaching next year.
Basketball Illuminati will tell you that it's Mike D'Antoni.
Forgive me. I was not asking, though, basketball insiders or people in the know. Of course, Frank Vogel with a championship will get recycled and will get other jobs. I'm not saying he's done as a coach because of this embarrassment. I'm looking at how quickly that got burned up, and I'm asking the audience, hey, did Vogel buy anything with you guys? Because then Stugotz started giving voice to what I think a lot of people will do as it regards Vogel. That guy, hey, that had nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. He was a passenger. That guy doesn't buy himself anything as a coach, because Stugotz and LeBron have made it so that the coach gets turned into a postage stamp where LeBron goes.
Typically, all coaches that end up coaching LeBron James outside of Ty Lue and Eric Spoelstra get fired. And when you look at the balance of LeBron's career in terms of results, is the third best coach that he's ever had in his career. And I do think that championship afforded him the opportunity to stay the entire year and let the Lakers be the Lakers. And he garnered sympathy for the way that he was fired. Quote, I haven't been told shit. And then Russell Westbrook's display yesterday, which lacked all sorts of accountability and just tried to kick a man while he was down, and Frank Vogel, I think, bought Vogel some credibility in that people look at what happened with the Lakers and they blame LeBron's decision for wanting Russell Westbrook, and they blame Russell Westbrook's play, and maybe they'll turn their attention to Frank Vogel. But I think sports fans at large don't blame Vogel for what happened.
Let's examine the toppling of an empire. The Lakers franchise being celebrated in Hollywood by the hottest thing going in Hollywood, Adam McKay, putting together just something for HBO to celebrate the glory years of this franchise.
It is great. It is a really great show. I'm caught up now. They take a lot of chances for a show that's of a time, and it could come off. There's a fine line between really innovative and corny and cheesy. And sometimes they straddle that line with how much they break the fourth wall, and Jerry Tarkanian's talking to you from a newspaper.
Tark.
They do a lot of creative things, and it works for that show. The one thing that doesn't, at least up until this point, is Adrian Brody's Pat Riley. That was one of those that didn't land with me from the very beginning, and I'm like, all right, let me give Brody, he's an Academy Award winning actor.
Give it a couple episodes, but it's not coming,
I don't see it, man. I
Same.
just don't see it.
Riley says he's not interested in anything to do with that.
Oh, he's
It's
watching it.
based on the
He comes off
Perlman.
kind of sympathetic.
Well, but they make him look like a dork, though. I think when you say Brody's not buying in, it's because you think one thing of Pat Riley, and Brody's not bringing any regal. He's just, so far, he's just a schlub.
yeah,
They've-
he's just a down and out,
Looking for a
retired,
job.
searching for his own identity while searching for a job, trying to balance that with his marriage. There's an interesting character there. I just can't suspend my disbelief enough for Adrian Brody. I'm interested in the character and exploring that Pat Riley, and maybe a couple more episodes we'll realize why Adrian Brody was a choice. As of yet, I don't see it.
He's lying. Obviously. Like, no one has a movie or show made about them. Like, nah, I'm not going to check that out. I don't care what
All right,
people are
put
doing.
it on the
That's a
poll.
lie.
Is Pat Riley lying
Do you
about
not think he's lying? I think he's watching secretly, like even if it's hate watching, and he's not telling people that he's watching because he may not like the way he's portrayed. He's like, no, I don't have any time for that. You don't have time for that. What are you?
I've tried to get him and McKay to sit down together, and before this even came out, he's like, I'm not interested in anything off of the Perlman book that for whatever the reason is, and this is all based on the Jeff Perlman book, who does very good biographies, but they do take a lot of chances in it, and I have enjoyed watching that time, but tying it to today and tying it to what LeBron was able to burn up and use inherited from Pat Riley. The story goes coast to coast. LeBron embarrassed Pat Riley by making him fly out to go see what Phil Jackson called his posse. And LeBron says, bleep it, I'll do it myself. I'll do all the Riley things. I'll just go into organizations. I'll burn them up. I'll win a championship. He takes this franchise and he burns it up like this, burnt up fast, crispy. Because now at the end, Westbrook is taking still the heat for everybody because he's saying, I don't know what Vogel's problem was with me.
Westbrook still has a job. Vogel was fired. Vogel's taking the heat for everything.
Westbrook thinks that the answer to what ailed the Lakers this season was more Westbrook. He doesn't feel like Russ was allowed the opportunity to be Russ. He said that was all lip service. Dude,
Not surprising. Not surprising that this person, triple-double, MVP, I'll do it without Durant. Look, Durant leaves and wins, but look at me. I'm the most historic player ever, that he would not have self-awareness, that his confidence would make him think that at all times that he's almost as good as LeBron.
quick sidetrack. I did take a list 2 years ago for all the people that wanted to trade Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo for Russell Westbrook. I have not forgotten.
Okay, but what about Chris Paul? Because I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Paul in a Heat uniform because you didn't want Chris Paul either, and Chris Paul was available to the Heat. Nobody wanted Chris Paul.
I was certainly
Why
more.
would you?
I was certainly more Chris Paul than I was Russell Westbrook. But no, at the time I didn't want to give up anything for Chris Paul. Sam Presti, who's the GOAT according to LeBron James, wanted a huge haul for him, and I wanted to keep Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. And I think ultimately that was the right call.
How about Harden? Was that ever real? The Harden stuff.
The people that were on the beat said Hero for Harden wasn't exactly real, but in the context of this show and the debates that Heat fans were having, that was a very much real conversation that we were having.
I want to get to this pizza hierarchy. We have to get to this pizza hierarchy, but I just want to put in front of you that Waddle has said that a race with Tyreek Hill is coming. The Miami Dolphins now have a couple of players who are racing, and it matters. And I just want to sit down as a local region and celebrate like there's a race. Waddle says he welcomes the race with Hill.
Can I take the field?
I know what we do.
I want to take Mostert.
I know what we do to make this about us, because that's kind of what we do. I know what we do. We get them to race through Kmart.
Wow.
That would be
Let's
something.
do it.
Wow.
Okay, set it up with
Yes.
the Dolphins. Let's figure out how to do that. See, get around all the liability issues because the Dolphins have a race that matters. And Whittingham, you've never had one of those in your life. You are a furious Dolphin fan. You have been broken by this football team, so broken that when they got Tyreek Hill, you're like, they'll screw it up. And I have no hope. I
still sort of believe that.
I have no confidence. It's not. And now here they are, and you don't know who their fastest player is because Trent Williams says it's Mostert.
Yeah, I think he's responsible. Like since the NFL started tracking miles per hour, I think Mostert is has been documented with the fastest speed in game action.
The top four are 2 Mostert times and 2 Tyreek Hill times.
But 0 to 60, I think like getting off, I go Tyreek.
Hell yeah.
And Waddle is saying
No one's faster at getting off than me.
Put it on
I
the
challenge
poll.
you.
Put it on the
Challenge
poll.
accepted.
Yeah.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Is anyone faster at getting off than Mike Ryan? Challenge accepted.
You don't want that on the poll, Mike? I mean,
at LeBatard.
I get one veto a year. Let's see that one.
All right, let's go ahead and do this pizza poll. Are you ready? It's not this hierarchy is very exciting. We've never done this before. We talk a lot about food. We'll see what Stan Van Gundy thinks of these rankings on Thursday. But let's get right now, Tony, to number 25. This is again.
This won't take forever.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't.
Lay out for the fanfare.
Yeah, you don't need to yammer, Tony. We don't need your thoughts on every one, okay?
To recap, though, there's subcategories.
There are subcategories. Yeah,
Tiers,
it's
yeah.
bad but still good.
Right, bad, but
No,
still
I don't want to
good.
do this again.
No, I have
got
the
it.
25. I have the list of 25. There's just tiers
yes,
to
but
it.
I know.
Bad, but
I
still
don't
good.
want to hear. Just listen to me,
Okay.
Tony. Tony, I am not going to have you elaborate with your mic time for minutes at a time on what your thoughts are on all these pizzas.
It's important though, and he's giving
no,
tiers right
no.
now. Bad, but still good.
I know, but the
BBSG,
the
that's right.
overlying point is there is no bad pizza. So our
Yes,
starting
yes.
point is this is still good pizza. Number 25.
Bowling alley pizza.
That's low.
Yeah, especially
That's
a
a
bird
good
bowl.
one.
Like the
That's
bird
a
bowl one is
big
fire.
guy.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Worse
one.
than gas
Yeah, I
station?
like that.
25.
Middle school cafeteria.
Number,
Hold on,
come
this
on,
list is already
number
a second. What are we doing here?
24.
Gas station pizza.
Yes.
I need those flip-flops. I need those
No.
flip-flops.
This is bad, but still good, right?
Put that on the
Okay.
poll, Guillermo. Worst pizza, gas station pizza or bowling alley pizza? Number 23.
Frozen pies, all sorts.
Number number 22.
School lunch French bread pizza.
Excellent. Fridays for me when I was in school. Yeah.
Mexican pizza.
Number 21.
Failing Italian restaurant pizza.
Like a sad
great
shopping
show.
Yeah,
center.
like it's about to close.
Next to a
They're not
grocery
trying
store.
anymore.
Vito's or
It's
something.
been there for 3 days.
Good list.
It's been there. You know it has been. They just keep bringing it out every day. Number 20.
Restaurant that doesn't specialize in anything pizza. It's like, hey, we do everything here. And they're like, we got a pizza.
Like your Chili's.
Yeah, like a
Cheesecake
cheesecake factory.
Yeah.
Got a
Kids
place.
meal pizza, like Chili's kids meal cheese pizza.
Sad. They don't.
Yeah.
Chili's just should
Like
not
your
do
Fridays.
pizza.
One on
there that I know you're gonna miss.
Number 19. Thank you for the confidence boost, Billy. Number 19.
Cuban pizza. Cuban pizza.
Cuban pizza's nasty.
It's bad.
Have I had that? I don't think I've ever had that.
Did we skip 20?
Bad.
No, 20
Ray's
was
pizza, but
No,
not
we
like
had
the New
20.
York Ray's.
like Cuban
like
Burger
a king.
King. Yeah.
And Ray.
Very fast.
Billy, he has it written down. You don't have to write it down.
I need to.
Okay.
Where are we? Number 19 or
Do
number
you agree,
18?
though,
Yeah.
Billy? Do you
Number-
agree with Cuban
we're still on the
pizza?
same
Cuban
team.
pizza
Yeah, we
is
have to
nasty.
agree. It's
I'm not a
nasty.
fan.
Are we still in the BBSG?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Wait, no, we have to.
Let us know when we get to a new tier.
If
okay?
Lunchables pizza is higher than any of these, you're an idiot.
No, I
because
did not
Lunchables
add
pizza is the
Lunchables
worst
pizza.
pizza.
I didn't
Yeah,
add
it's
it.
terrible.
Cuban
Okay,
pizza
good.
kind of has the same Lunchable pizza dough. It's
Yes.
undercooked and
Somehow, I
overcooked at
don't
the
know.
same time. Where does Highlight Pizza rank?
Oh, wow. Number 18.
Child entertainment spots. Chuck E. Cheese, Dandy Bears, Discovery Zones.
Speaking of
good one.
overcooked and
They
undercooked.
can't be lumped into
Chuck E.
that.
Cheese.
Little
terrible.
generous.
All of them,
terrible.
their own
That's
category.
not a thing.
This is the
Number-
last one of bad but still good
Number
categories.
The last one.
Number
Yeah.
17.
Andy Bear will give you dysentery.
That's a slogan.
Stadium
Bad
pizza.
one.
Stadium
No good.
I don't know.
Now we're in the good but not great category. So whenever you're ready.
So far, decent.
Yeah,
Decent.
thank you.
But is gas station, is
GBNG.
that like 7-Eleven also, or 7-Eleven a different category?
That is
Circle
7-Eleven.
K, like a
Okay.
Wawa, like all
Wawa's
those.
been there all
not a gas
day.
station.
It's not a gas
It's the
station,
whole
but you can
thing.
get gas.
What
Got a line
number?
in the index
What number are
card.
we on now?
16.
16. Number 16.
Little Caesars.
You had their Detroit style?
I have.
It's
Have
good.
you seen their Batman pizza?
Crazy
calzone?
calzone?
Again
That's
with
great,
the calzone.
Yeah, that's
Again
great.
with the
I'm not
calzone.
going to tell you tried it.
The Batman calzone.
And don't try it.
Number 15.
A South Florida staple, Sir Pizza. Sir Pizza is really good. I know you've been to the one on Key Biscayne, Dan,
With the one with ranch?
with ranch. The little pepperonis
that's
chopped in.
That's all pizza,
You
right?
don't know
Ranch.
anything about pizza.
No, but the Sir Pizza Ranch is a special
You
kind.
don't know anything about pizza.
Oh, please.
Number 14.
Domino's.
I love Domino's.
You love, nobody loves
They had a
Domino's.
switch
love
like
that. Tried
15
at
years
midnight.
ago. Yeah, like 15 years ago,
That's
they
a different
completely
category.
switched their
Yeah.
recipe.
Little Caesars is better than Domino's.
Midnight
But they,
pizza.
they,
is
they
not
did
the
improve the
same.
crust at Domino's because of the changed recipe.
I like the old.
Poppy loves Domino's, right?
Well, Poppy loves Little
That's a different-
Caesars
that's the
because
game.
it's cheap.
Well, and the LeBron pizza because they sponsored HQ, right? Wasn't he like a pretend a big fan?
Oh,
of
he
Blaze
did.
Pizza?
LeBron, not unlike Stugotz. My father kept ripping LeBron, and then LeBron.
Have you ever been to a music festival and had spicy pie? Spicy pie better be on.
Haven't been to a music
I'm
festival that has
telling you,
spicy pie,
this
but
guy doesn't know anything.
okay. Number 13, Papa John's.
Okay.
Dan, you were saying?
He bought my father with some of his crappy pizza.
Pizza Hut is not better than Papa John.
Number 12.
Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza.
Oh, wow.
Nice coal fire pizza with the char on the bottom.
We're not
That's
just going
low.
coal fire.
That's
You're
low.
doing specifically.
That's low, though, no?
He's terrible, I'm
Interesting.
telling you.
Number 11. You got a different list?
I don't, but I'm criticizing.
Number
it.
11. Well, then you are the critic.
What
This
was
is my
13?
most controversial
what
one.
was 13? I'm
They've all
sorry.
been bad.
13 was Papa John's.
Thank you.
Again, we're still in the good, not great category.
They have a new New York style pizza at Papa
actually really
John's.
good, yeah.
It is, but it's only size extra large. Yeah.
Number 11.
My most controversial take. Costco pizza. It is so good,
It's pretty
and
good.
it's $9.99. It is huge. It comes out like a 35-inch pizza. Incredible pie.
It's value.
way
It's certainly
too low.
it's in the category of value. Number 10.
A good Italian spot.
That's so
I
vague.
feel like what are we doing here?
That's
Number
so vague.
9.
What is that?
Who
You just
put
have
him in
good
charge
pizza.
of this
He
list?
puts good pizza at 10.
No. It's a
just said
good
pizza.
Italian place.
A good
It's
Italian
different. It's a
spot.
good.
Number
exactly.
10
No
is-
dishes, but you'll still get a pizza.
Exactly.
Number 10 is
I know what you're
good
saying.
pizza, but there's also 9
No,
better
it's
than
an
good
Italian
pizza.
spot.
Yeah,
It's an
okay.
Italian spot.
Got
That was
it.
the
You're
worst
thinking of
one
the
so
big
far.
cheese.
Got it,
You're
guy,
thinking
yeah.
of another
No,
Italian spot.
Number
Costco's
9.
at 11.
Cold pizza. Yeah.
The show?
Any kind of cold pizza is good pizza.
Jay Crawford. Woody Page.
Number 8.
Drunk pizza.
That's not a
I missed that
Now
one.
we're getting off of this.
Number
Any drunk
7.
pizza you have is great.
Hold
Hold on.
It's a different
What was
list.
8? What was 8?
That means
Cold
25
pizza.
could also be drunk pizza.
Exactly. All
Correct.
of them could be.
All pizza's drunk
all
pizza.
of them, but when you're drunk, I mean the flavors go off the chart.
It's a ridiculous
Flavors go
list.
off the chart, brother. You don't get
This
it.
isn't a list.
This guy doesn't get it. I'm not gonna talk to him anymore. All right, now we are to the next tier, which is
Promise is promise.
great pizza.
Oh, GP.
Mike, you had a quick trigger there. I don't know
we
why
did.
we're celebrating the great
Because he
pizza.
doesn't
Go
make
ahead.
any sense.
What num-
7.
Good
Now
pizza
we're
is
gonna.
number
Wait,
10.
what was 8?
Yeah, good
good
pizza.
I think 8 was great pizza. No.
No, it was drunk pizza. 8 was drunk
Oh,
pizza.
okay.
That's not a type
No.
of
So 8
pizza.
wasn't great
No,
pizza?
8
No,
was-
no, this is
eight-
the great category now.
Oh, okay.
We're getting
I'm
into
sorry.
7.
Eight was
7 is
right.
the great category.
GC.
Yeah. All right, number 7, Artichoke Pizza in New York. If you haven't had it, try it. It's incredible.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Number 6, a New Haven pie.
That is
Frankie
underrated.
Pepe's.
That
They
could-
cut it like all crazy.
Sally's
It's
great
delicious.
call.
That could be number 1.
Number
great call.
5.
Neapolitan pizza that they cook in the oven
That's
for like
ice
2
cream.
minutes.
That's ice cream.
And then it
Yeah.
comes out, mott's on top, a little
Neapolitan is
basil.
ice
Mwah,
cream.
beautiful.
Overrated.
Number 4.
Deep dish pizza.
That's solid. Solid.
Vastly
That's
overrated.
spaghetti.
It's yes.
That's not even
It's not pizza. It's pie.
Boo.
Number knocked on my water. Number 3, Detroit style pizza.
What kind
That's
of
Little
doing? Wait a minute.
Caesars. That is Little Caesars pizza.
Number 2, thin New York slice. Stu knows what I'm talking about.
Billy, why did you boo him and then throw
A
something?
highlighter.
Passionate.
That was a
Threw a
highlighter.
highlighter, yeah.
Knocked on my water too.
Number
pen
1,
before
the
him.
best
Jesus
pizza
This
is
is the best. Hold
This
on.
is the best.
This
of
is
all
the best
lists.
pizza.
deeply flawed.
It's a horrible list.
That could be a horrible list. The number 1 pizza, okay, is something that
Drum roll.
if you haven't had it, you
If
need to make a
only-
trek for it.
This is
to
gonna be
have
something
it because
stupid
it's
like
the
my
most
mom makes the best pizza.
No,
My mom's pizza.
Get
If
outta
you
here.
say my mom's pizza.
no. Number 1 is Prince Street Pizza in New York. And if you haven't had it, please Google it. Please look it up. It's the most incredible pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
I don't know anything. I never talked to
I've
anybody.
never talked to anybody about it. Had it. It's great.
That was the worst list ever.
You
Wow.
suck. Where's
had
your
some
list?
bad
Where's
lists.
your
It's
list?
25 things on it, and then the number 1 is this one specific place.
That's
and if
right.
you've never heard of it, go look it up.
That's right.
That's
I
what we
can't-
built up to.
I can't believe
They
number
actually
10.
have one in Wynwood. If you want it, they ship the pizza down. You can have
Number
it.
10 was good pizza.
No,
I-
number
it's-
10 was a good Italian spot. That's totally different.
Right.
No,
I
number
get it,
8 was
Tony.
good pizza.
No, that was
number
no,
8 was
that
drunk
that was
pizza.
cold pizza.
What
Cold
was-
pizza is the best pizza.
Tony, what was 22? I missed it.
22 is school lunch French bread pizza that you used to have on Fridays.
Thank you.
No,
Mexican
school pizza was
pizza.
23.
Mexican
22 was
pizza
failed
was great.
Italian restaurant pizza. You don't even have the numbers on your list right,
How,
idiots.
I'm looking at the list.
I wrote it down. down. What's 23?
23
Your
is
list looks
frozen
very-
pizza.
Billy's
No,
list-
23 is school pizza. You did bowling alley, gas station, school pizza,
You
failed
missed frozen
Italian
pizza.
restaurant.
23.
No.
Can't believe this guy.
Tony, walk to the ocean.
Whoa!
Wow.
You're gonna have to leave. That your list was deeply flawed. You weren't here for the first 2 hours of the show. You came in breathlessly because you were playing basketball, and you came here with a list. And now Billy's gonna have to take over, and we're gonna have to do a better pizza
Billy's
list.
probably sucks.
No, I'm not gonna make a list.
Okay.
I will.
Pizza
Tony-
sucks.
Tony,
Uh-oh.
go to the beach.
I'm gonna go
turn
tan.
your microphone off and leave, and go to the ocean.
I have a take on
Taking
pizza.
my list with me.
If you add pepperoni to a bad pizza,
Take
it
me
makes
with
it
you.
30% better.
You really wanted to piss people off. You would have put combos at number 8.
Oh, pizza combos.
He
Those are
should carry
great.
you in his arms to the beach with you, feeding him pizza.
Pizza rolls number 4. The bagel bite pizzas.
Oh my God, Mike, that is
Bagel
such
bites
a
is
great
good,
call.
yeah.
Such a great
That's
call.
a good pizza.
You turn like the thing over, you put them all like a dozen in there, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and you burn your mouth
fantastic.
every time.
Yes.
And have you ever had? I haven't tried air fried bagel bites yet.
Oh,
I've only done toaster oven.
No, I need the conventional oven because that burns the roof of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
I need that. That's
Did
part
you
of it.
guys know that bakeries down here sell like breakfast pizza?
Yeah. I've had empanada pizzas, which is also my number 2.
What about Mexican pizza?
That was my
No,
number
it was
1.
like 20.
Yeah,
What?
it was like
Number
20-something.
one?
Yeah.
Like elementary and high school Mexican pizza was fire. At least in Broward. I don't know about.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
You didn't
Oh.
have Frankie's on the list? I mean,
Oh, Frankie sucks, dog.
How
I
about
can't do
Steve's?
Frankie's.
Steve's is good, no?
I
They have good
insist.
U-Hauls.
Come on,
I
man.
insist on knowing why I still hear Tony's voice and why he hasn't left my life.
Sorry to the kind people at Frankie's, but it's just not for me.
I don't understand how he prepared that list, came in breathlessly, and delivered that slop as our historic finality. We trusted Tony with something around here. We gave him a task, and it seems to be something that any remedial task around here that any one of us could have done.
mall pizza wasn't on the
And
list.
then his big reveal at the end is Google it.
Got to go all the way to Prime Street, New York.
I was so livid. I was okay with the list until number 10 was a good pizza
It's
spot.
stupid.
A good. What the hell are we doing?
He's just saying any good Italian spot can make a good pizza is what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. Some places are known for their dishes. Some places are known for their pizza.
But
He's
we're
saying a good Italian spot.
In other example, we're saying specific names of
Yeah.
restaurants, but in
You
this
got
one, he
it.
just goes the
That's
most
right.
generic thing. It's
Same thing with
ridiculous.
cold pizza and drunk pizza.
we
There was
will-
no rest stop pizza, which is
I want to
Tony's
apologize.
just, I'm looking at him through the screen, just watching us right now.
He
from the
needs
other
to
room.
leave with his camera crew. He can take every punishment he suffers. Lewis should have to suffer it too, because both of them have actively made Billy worse at his job because they're undercutting him and they're doing things like that don't reach Billy's standard of comedic excellence.
they would have let Bob's neighbor die just to make me feel bad.
Speaking of comedy,
He just yelled from the other room.
no, Bob's finding this funnier than anyone is. Bob, I heard Bob muttering in the corner to himself. He's like, StuGoutz, funny, funny, asking for the gout medication at Kmart. He's trying to retire, and we won't let him because the whole thing collapses if he leaves.
If it makes it until the next Moss, that's where we should do Moss. Is at the Kmart, one of the abandoned Kmarts.
if it makes it.
Yeah, if we get there.
Well, we have to figure out something with DraftKings and Kmart to bring back that Kmart the way that Chris Cody is trying to bring back Highlight. And we're going to do it by outraging you, one of you at a time here on the internet. Because StuGoutz, yesterday when we admitted or put on the poll question, we put, is Dave Yeager the Memphis coach? And we as a show, combined as a sports show, did not know the name of probably the coach of the year. And the
Yes, we
second,
did. Lionel Hollins.
Yep. How'd that vote come back? I mean,
I don't know how the vote came back, but one person out there, Marcavius on Twitter, writes in, guess it's funny to be bad at your job.
He's that guy.
Oh, he's just right, though.
yeah.
It is funny to be that bad at our jobs. and we should probably know the Memphis coach, but Stugotz gave you his opinion on coaches in general. His at the laziest end of Take Mountain, Stugotz is just now on any coaching subject. It's like they don't matter at all. None of them. All of them are unimportant. I will not take any more new information. Enough on McVay.
I put together a top 5 list based off of the Costco pizza thing.
Right.
Yeah, food items that you get at places you don't necessarily go to eat food there.
I have a top 5 list of coaches with the most amount of pressure headed into the postseason.
Oh, let's do yours.
Dueling top 5. No, mine
dueling?
and yours.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
I go first.
Okay.
The popcorn at 10,000 Movies. Video rental chain in the 90s. You would go to the popcorn machine, fill up your clear plastic bag of popcorn. It was so buttered, it was good.
Salty.
There's nothing better than free popcorn. You go to like a car dealership every once in
Doral
a while.
Hyundai, yeah.
Oh my God, they have some where you get some free popcorn. That is the best item. If you want to give away some food to really increase customer satisfaction, free popcorn.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatardShow. Is there anything better than free popcorn?
Number 5 for your list, Stugotz.
Oh, number 5 for me.
This is coaches all sports or basketball?
These are the
hot
top
s-
5 coaches, NBA coaches, headed into the NBA postseason who have the most amount of pressure on them to win a championship.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Number 5, Nick Nurse.
What?
I know he won one, Dan, but do me a favor. Win one without Kawhi Leonard. Just win one without Kawhi Leonard. I bet you can't do it. No,
Okay.
Nick Nurse
Okay.
needs to win another title
All right.
to validate his career and do it without Kawhi.
I mean, why?
It's my list.
Why are you pointing one of your gout fingers
I have
all
no
over the
idea.
place? Number 4, Mike.
$2 Chuck at Trader Joe's. The $2 bottle of wine that is exclusive to Trader Joe's.
A lot of good cheap wine at Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
$2 Chuck.
Please stop being so aggressive. We got you. You're
Have
very
you ever had
you're
$2
very
Chuck?
passionate about
Have
this.
you ever had it?
No, I have not. But Trader Joe's has a lot of magic stuff, so I believe you.
$2 Chuck, a $2 bottle of wine. It's really good
Really?
for a $2 bottle
Number
of wine.
4, Stugotz.
Doc Rivers.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Can a $2 bottle of wine ever be a top 5 great thing?
Most overrated coach in the NBA, Dan. He has had Kevin Durant, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Ivica Zubac, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and what does he have to show for it? One title. Give me a break, Doc Rivers.
Ivica Zubac.
Whatever.
I think you gave him Durant, too. Did you?
No.
Was it Garnett? Number 3.
Yeah, it was KG.
The slushy.
From
7-Eleven.
Okay, just in general.
You
Not-
think of that as unconventional? Because I only associate
No.
7-Eleven with the slushy.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
Slurpee.
but-
It's not
yeah,
a slushy.
But who would have thought that one place would have just cornered the market on frozen drinks? It's oftentimes a gas station. It's an unconventional place that owns a food group.
But Mike, you said slushy. It's a Slurpee. You're talking
I'm
about
sorry.
no. Okay, that's why I
My
didn't
mistake.
understand. Because I was
You were
thinking,
confused,
but you're
right?
not
I
even
understand.
talking about
No, I
other.
misspoke. I'm sorry.
You're not even talking
That's
about
why it's only number 3 for me.
other slushy type drinks anywhere else. You're talking about 7-Eleven
The Slurpee.
has created a food brand on Coca-Cola and just ice.
So sorry. It's a Slurpee, not to be confused with the icy with the dog. That's adorable.
I'm with Whitty though. Where would that live? Like, where would the proper home of that be?
I mean, the other home is the movie theater. So the movie
Yeah.
theater also has a significant market share in the frozen Coke category. Well, I will say though, when it's working though, it's the greatest.
But that can't be as greater than the Slurpee. He's saying it can't be any other duplicates or counterfeit ones. He's saying there's only one.
The Slurpee, even though I called it the slushy.
Are you frozen Coke or do you go for other flavors?
I haven't had a Slurpee in a good 10 years.
Mm.
It's the best.
I don't know. I think I might be frozen Coke at a movie over a Slurpee.
Put
I
it
do
on-
love a
Don't
good
say
Slurpee.
that,
Like,
Chris. Don't
this
say
is
that.
so tough.
I'm looking at you
Put it- all
differently.
right, put it
Don't
on the
do
poll.
that.
Frozen
Guillermo.
Coke at a
No,
movie
I'm
theater
not
is
gonna
so
do it.
good.
Don't.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Better, just better. Slurpee or frozen Coke at a movie theater? Number 3, Stugotz.
I hate to say this, but he needs to win one without LeBron James. He has to for his own legacy. Eric Spoelstra.
You didn't hate to say it.
He's a 1 seed. He's got the best team in the East. Go win a title with it.
Okay.
No, thanks. You agree? Thanks.
Number 2.
Meatballs at Ikea.
Oh, a lot of people speak highly of those.
Controversial one because of what it's made of.
We don't know.
There's a bunch of theorists out there. There was a whole horse meat allegations. Very unfair.
Perhaps humans.
I can't believe there's one above the meatballs at IKEA.
Well, we'll
it's
find
such
out.
I
This
remember.
is-
I remember when South Florida got an IKEA, and I found out that they serve meatballs there. I'm like, wait a second, what? Like it's a revelation of a whole new world.
Before we go on with this list, I do want to reveal to the audience, and Tony, you could just go in the water. Just keep walking and go in the water. But I do want to reveal to the audience that we almost had for you, magically, a special bit of audio that Whittingham created off hours that we could not air because he realized afterward that he had committed a felony. But Whittingham did the DoubleTree experience and actually went and saw if you can get a DoubleTree cookie without staying at the DoubleTree. He did by play-by-play of it. He went and got it. It would have been a great and funny payoff, but we'll never get it now because Whittingham realized that he would be committing a crime.
DoubleTree cookie OLI on my list.
Wow.
You edited that out because you played it for us.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I took it out.
Gotta play fast and loose for that.
You don't even hear the lady.
Yeah.
Laws vary.
Roll the dice.
Just change the voice. Make him sound like a robot or something. Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
Oh, say you're at the triple tree.
There you go.
Do something so that people can get the payoff of
Yeah,
finding
alter the
out
voice.
whether or not because you meant it harmlessly, and this is not important to the thing that you were doing. It's not that important to the comedy. You don't want record of you committing a crime.
The best part about that audio even isn't the person talking. It was Whittingham explanation
How
on the
awkward he
front.
did it. It was
Exactly. Yeah.
so
It wasn't even the
awkward.
response.
Did you know how much? Have
You
you heard
weren't
how much
awkward?
he botched this? He botched
You
it.
haven't heard it? Wait,
No,
you haven't heard
I
it,
did
Dan?
not botch this.
The whole bit was to see if you could go in there and just get one.
Send me the thing.
I
I'll change
did.
the voice.
and he
No,
went in. He's
send
like,
me
"Do
the
you
thing."
allow passerbys to have a cookie?
Oh,
Is
well,
this
now
a
you
thing?"
told
You
the joke. Yeah.
You got to tell them you're staying at the hotel. I mean, what's the matter with you?
I told the truth.
Right.
No,
I said-
that's
The
not
truth
how you.
doesn't work.
That's
I
not
mean-
how a con works. You can't tell the
It
truth
didn't
in a
need
heist.
to be a con.
Yes, it did.
I walked in off the street. I said, "Can passersby get cookies here at
Who
the
says
DoubleTree?"
that?
I do.
Life's a con. I mean, what's the matter with you?
Number 2.
Monty Williams. You have the best team in the NBA. You've had it for 2 seasons. Go win a title with it.
This is your dismount on all of them.
Yeah, go win a title with
Go
it.
win a title. This is the Stugotz dismount for the modern age right here. Just pointing at a coach. Go win a title.
Even though Spo, Nurse, and someone else on my list has already won a title, Doc Rivers.
But the beauty of the Stugotz list is the one who wins it will not matter at all. He'll still have 4 that he can go after next year.
Do it again. Monty Williams has to win one with this team,
Nick
right?
Nurse is ridiculous
What
to
do you
have on
mean?
your list.
They're talking about him as the next
It's
Lakers
just
coach.
asinine. It's
Dan,
asinine.
He had one good season with Kawhi Leonard. Since then,
He's having a good season right now.
he's a 5 seed, borderline on good.
All
you
right,
know?
it's
I mean,
just
come on.
terrible.
It's a 5
Your
seed.
list. You should be in the ocean with Tony. I think you'd
I'd
like
love to
that.
be in the ocean with Tony.
He's
I mean-
shirtless right now, and he's in the ocean. Let's check in with him. Tony, do you feel sufficient shame about how shitty your list was?
Absolutely not, Dan. I will do the list again and again and again and again. Nobody can stop me.
This is supposed to be a punishment, but Tony's made this about
There's
Tony.
rip-
He's shirtless at the
There's
beach
also
now.
a rip current here, guys. So I just want to be, make
Yeah.
sure we're all good. There's a
Careful.
big rip current.
See how far
Care
you
about
can
you.
swim out. Yeah.
All right, that's a liability. Be careful.
Don't take that advice, anybody in our audience.
Come on in here now. It
Look at
wasn't
those
much of a
shoulders.
punishment. Yes, he's okay. Just
Pan down a little bit.
a terrible list.
You seem far from the shore. You don't seem like you're in the
Tilt,
water.
not a pan.
You're not in the water.
Okay, he wasn't in the water.
I'm walking out. They're not letting us go into the water because of the rip current. you
We
know?
see
see
someone in
people
the
in the
water.
water.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There's
Yeah,
plenty
what?
of-
Exactly.
This is
Oh, there's
video,
rip-
Tony.
There's
Don't ask, you
Look,
just
they told
jump
me to
in,
stay
Tony.
within these cones.
Peter the mud.
I have a
There's
sports
cones. They told me
question.
to stay within the cones.
Would you rather, Stugotz, if you were Nick Nurse, take the job with the Lakers, knowing LeBron would be there, or knowing he wouldn't be there?
I'd rather stay in Toronto.
No, but if you're going to LA, do you want LeBron on the Lakers or do you not want him on the Lakers? Because
I-
if he's on the Lakers,
I
you're going to
only-
be the fall guy.
I only go to LA if LeBron is on the Lakers, and I know he's going to be there for like 2 or 3 more years. Yeah. Otherwise, what are you going to do? It's just you and Russell Westbrook. I mean,
It's not a basketball Illuminati.
Well, Stugotz's take as a postage stamp as it is, because he is mailing in the idea of the coach doesn't matter. But LeBron just was refusing to answer Izzo's phone calls when Tom Izzo was trying to decide whether he wanted to be the Cleveland coach or not.
You see, he's doing this Mark Jackson thing again. He thinks Mark Jackson is the answer to what ails the Lakers. Oh, God.
At what point are we going to sit back and be like, what's the common thread here and all these teams that end up blowing up? LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh, but who cares? He wins for all time.
Yeah, but
I
he
mean,
doesn't
it's
win
just-
as much. People have had the take that the person that's been standing in LeBron's way of actually catching Jordan has been LeBron, the executive, because of all the terrible decisions on handpicked teammates. Even when he's won, he's made some puzzling personnel decisions outside of the 2 years in Miami where he was surrounded by a great cast.
yeah, but the worst one was not staying here. Had he stayed here, I think he catches Jordan.
He might have. He
He's
might
like-
have. You don't think that he would have figured it out?
He's like the guy that's been married 5 times. He's like, I believe in true love. It's like, what happened to death to us part? Huh? Mister, you just, you're a little unhappy? Off to the next thing? It's just, and then everyone likes to praise him. I mean, he's obviously great, but it's just, I'm over this whole, like, making everybody the scapegoat. All the coaches get fired. It's just, I'm done with them.
That's why Skip has him at 9.
Yeah.
We will finish up this list, but it is funny that you guys at the end of 20 years run where he's the biggest thing in America and the closest thing to Jordan we've had since Jordan in any of the sports. Football couldn't even touch it. That 4 championships would be with him learning of, I'll just go there, burn it up for 4 years, just rocket fuel. I'll go in there, I'll make all the decisions. And then now today he's saying, I don't have anything to do with who the next coach is. He's saying, he's saying, but this is the thing. This is
funny.
This is the downside of you give the players all the power and he'll have to be better than everybody all the time. And this year he's so bad at the executive job that not even him being scoring title good is good enough because he's so bad at the executive job. But that's the trade. The Lakers have mattered the last few years in a way they wouldn't have post Kobe. Like, and it's
We're talking about them right now. They're not in the playoffs.
It's a dumpster fire, indisputably, but it's theatrics, and it's what Adam McKay made a movie or is doing a documentary for HBO about from 30 years ago. It's modern-day distorted Showtime. This is what it looks like. It's LeBron running roughshod through your organization.
None of the success recently. Number 1 is public subs.
Oh, wow. It's a great call. Great
That's easy.
call.
Great
Yep.
shout.
It-
That was an easy number 1.
Everyone says that. Now, is Publix, is that nationwide, though, or is that just Florida?
No, it's southeast.
I think it's
There's
regional, yeah.
There's some in Georgia, maybe even creeping up to the South Carolina area.
Would the Wawa sandwich be up there as
Oh,
well?
please.
Well, the
get that outta
gobbler
here.
from Wawa was on the outside looking in as
Gas
well.
station sandwich. Get that out.
Underrated milkshake as well. Wawa.
Have you ever had the
Yeah.
gobbler?
No. I've had a couple sandwiches from Wawa. Never been impressed. Never. No. Not Wawa? Yeah.
You need to have the gobbler.
And the number 1 coach on the hot seat headed into the playoffs.
Steve Kerr. He won 1 with Mark Jackson's team. He won a couple with Kevin Durant, although Kevin Durant didn't win anything, but he won a couple with Kevin Durant. And you know what? Win 1 without Mark Jackson's team. Win 1 without Kevin Durant.
God.
Steph is going to be healthy. Clay is healthy. You have Draymond. You got Andrew Wiggins. Go win a title.
I have another one for you, StuGoutz.
Who?
Greg Popovich.
Pop.
Put it on him. Put it on Pop. See, Pop would have been better than Nick Nurse. Would have been funnier at least.
Some are saying this is the best coaching job of Greg Popovich's career, but you know what would seal that, Dan? If he went out and won a title with his team. Go win a title.